How to become a model? What really happens on your first modeling contract? I've been working as a full-time model for over 10 years, and in this video I will share how I started, the truth about the industry, and 7 tips you need to know if you want to start. I've been working as a model for over 10 years, and to be honest, I never really dreamed of becoming one. Growing up in a small town in Poland, modeling felt scary and impossible. Back in 2014, Facebook was huge, and I used it to post fun pictures I took with my friends. Then one day I heard about a platform where photographers, makeup artists, and amateur models connected. I thought, why not? Maybe I could get cool photos to post on Facebook. So I signed up. I didn't get any shoots, but I got something else. Messages from modeling agencies. I was only 14 and from a very small town, and honestly, I couldn't believe this. My parents saw the opportunity and encouraged me to reply, and very soon I was invited to visit agencies in Warsaw. I went to see 3 agencies, and to my shock, all of them wanted to sign me. And yeah, that's how my modeling journey began. The first thing they did was take Polaroids, which are simple pictures, basically no makeup or very subtle one, and clothes that can show your body shape. I also did my first test shoots to build my portfolio, and I still remember my very first one. I had zero idea what I was doing, but thankfully the photographer was guiding me through all the shoot. Not long after, my agency started to talk about sending me abroad, but honestly, I was terrified and I said no. A few months later, everything changed. I remember I was going back from school and I felt it like I'm ready. I want to see where modeling can take me. I was 15, so my parents spoke with my agency, and soon they sent my profile to agencies around the world. Then came the news. My first modeling contract will be to Seoul, Korea. I was both excited and terrified. I had never been on a plane before, and suddenly I was about to take a plane to go to another continent alone. Eventually I got my working visa, packed my bags, and went with my family to the airport. When I landed in Seoul, my Korean booker is supposed to pick me up, but as I walked out into the arrivals, there was nobody waiting for me. For a moment I panicked. I was like, did they forget about me? But a few minutes later I received a message that he's on his way. And while I was waiting, something unexpected happened. A young Korean guy walked up to me and gave me a cute note. It said something like, hello, here's my number, have a nice day or something. I don't know, I will try to find it. I still remember this moment so clearly, and it felt like a sign from the universe telling me, don't worry, it's all going to be fine. So my booker picked me up and took me to the agency. I met all the agents and they explained me how everything worked. Castings almost every day, sometimes jobs, and I always had to be available. I remember they gave me a map of Seoul, pocket money, and this old big phone so they can always reach me. And of course, my modeling book that I always had to bring with me for castings. Then he took me to my model apartment and I was so nervous. You always hear stereotypes about models being mean or super competitive, but when I walked in, my future flatmate just smiled and said, "Hi, nice to meet you. Are you hungry? I made some dumplings." Honestly, I was the happiest. I was so lucky, my flatmates were amazing and we became really good friends. My days in Seoul were mostly castings, usually from 1 till 4. We always went with Booker, which made things much easier. And at jobs, we always had an assistant too, because sometimes people at work don't speak English, so we needed someone to translate for us. And then I finally booked my first job. Bridal dresses. It sounded glamorous, but honestly, it was a nightmare. The shoot was outside in the middle of winter in Korea, like -15, -20 degrees. I was standing in those thin wedding dresses, literally shaking and trying to look pretty. And at one point, there was a girl standing next to me just to wipe my nose like every 2 minutes, because I couldn't myself because I was wearing white gloves and they didn't want me to make it dirty. I was so sorry for her. But yeah, I made it, and afterwards I was really proud of myself. Life wasn't always easy. I had to grow up quickly. Cook, clean, manage my own money. Also, to keep up with school, I had to study on my own. It was my first real taste of independence, and now when I look at it, I'm pretty proud of myself how I handled it. In the end, I didn't make any money. I mean, obviously, I had only one job and a few test shoots. But for me, the experience was priceless. It gave me confidence, lessons, and friendships that I will never forget. Now let's talk about you. If you're dreaming about becoming a model, here are the most important things I learned over the years. Start with the agencies. Take Polaroids, simple pictures, no makeup or very natural one. Pick clothes that show your body type and in which you feel comfortable. And really important, good light. Send them with your measurements to a bunch of agencies. And don't stress if they don't reply right away. Agents really check their email constantly, so if they don't reply, they're just not interested. And once you sign, remember, your agency is your partner, not your boss. It works best when there is respect and trust both ways. Your portfolio matters. So in the beginning, you will do many test shoots for free, or sometimes you're gonna even pay for them like I did. And honestly, it's worth it because that's how you learn, get experience, and what's the most important, you build your book that later on will give you real jobs. Stay in shape, but in a healthy way, both mentally and physically. You will hear no more often than yes, and don't take it personal. There will always be someone who will love you. And physically, focus on being strong and healthy, not just skinny. Work out, eat balanced meals, no crazy diets. As a nutritionist now, I can promise you that is the only way to last long in this career. Be professional, be on time, answer your emails, learn languages, especially English. I've seen models stress out so much just because they couldn't understand directions on set, and that's totally avoidable if you prepare. Be patient and humble. Sometimes things move quickly, but very often they don't. Celebrate the little steps because they all add up. Be kind, but know your limits. People love working with kind and positive models, but if something feels off, it's okay to say no. Like if they ask you to stand somewhere unsafe or pose in underwear where you don't want to, you don't have to. And last but not least, have something outside of modeling. A hobby, studies, whatever. This career is unpredictable. One day you're flying to jobs, the other you're at home with nothing. Use that time wisely so you don't feel lost. So yeah, that's my best advice. I hope it helps you and saves you some mistakes I made in the beginning. So that's the story of my first modeling contract and things I wish I knew back then. If you want to know some crazy stories from my contracts in Europe or Asia, let me know in the comments, because trust me, there are many. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. It means the world to me and helps me to make more videos. So see you at the next one.